Hey guys, welcome back. We appreciate you coming back to watch part 2 of our Haunted Iowa 10-year reunion. Some epic stuff in our last part and some revelations of things that happened, and we can't wait for you to see the rest of this reunion of us coming together, sharing all things Haunted Iowa. Again, thank you for the love, thank you for the support, thank you for subscribing, and stay tuned for more epic content. But for now, enjoy part 2 of the 10-year anniversary reunion of Haunted Iowa. After Farrar, we were on to our final location. And through the movie, you literally, in between each location, you see our one step closer to Villisca, one step closer to Villisca. And that was the only place, Villisca was the only place that we had visited multiple times. And so we knew that we had to push it to the limit to get something new for this documentary, to get something huge, to be the finale of this movie. And we wanted something big. And we hoped that by coming up with this reenactment, that this was it. This was the bar to set high in that house to get the best evidence we possibly could.
Yep.
And so, come April, we're there, and it was a weird night. It was a stormy night, really creepy night, and just a couple things I wrote down from the things that I had noticed leading up to the reenactment was we were doing a ghost box session upstairs, and one of the ghost box responses that really stuck out to me was, "What a night." And it was just like, this is had to have been the investigators or whoever was first into that house when all of this happened, all the axe murders happened. Someone stood there and said, "What a nightmare."
What a nightmare.
And we were hearing that. Yeah, what a night. And we were hearing it echoing through time almost 100 years later. And it came through the ghost box. What a nightmare.
I thought the exact same thing when I heard that again, Seth.
Did you?
Yep.
Dude, it sums up that house. Like, what
Yeah.
a nightmare.
What a nightmare.
Like, Villisca is a living, breathing nightmare.
Yeah.
And everything that's pumped in and out of that house is a nightmare. What happened there is a night. And so that just like, there was a ton of, we got a ton of different responses and things like that, but that one just like stuck to me.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Yep.
But, and then there was another thing. Oh, I thought the knocks in the closet were really cool.
Yeah. Very profound.
And literally like, yeah, and I don't remember them being so profound the last time I watched, but I could hear almost every single one. And like, we're literally doing, like, someone is inside that freaking closet knocking and then starting to open the closet.
Yeah.
And that we had been there that whole night, and it had been storming and windy, and we have been in that house. And I think Johnny states it in the movie, but we had been in that house during insane thunderstorms, stuff like that. The doors are quiet. They don't move. Nothing moves.
Right.
And these doors were what we've spent 8 nights in that house, and that was the only night I've ever witnessed that. Like, all of the doors opening and closing. And I mean, you're talking to the killer saying, "Come out of your hiding spot," and you can literally see the attic just slowly creeping open. And so that was why. And then the freaking downstairs front door just like flying open.
Yeah, it's almost like it was kicked open.
That's just unheard of.
Yeah.
That was one of the things. Go ahead, Joe.
I've taken smoke machines in there to see if there's some kind of suction. I've had people open and slam every door in the house at the same time, different times. I've been in there in January or February where the wind's blowing so hard the windows are rattling. That door does not just open and shut. It doesn't do it.
Yeah. No, exactly.
That's cool.
And you even go
You
go inside when it's happening and you don't feel suction. You don't, like,
Right, exactly.
And
then
you lit your lighter on
Yep.
that and to prove that, there was no wind, sucking it in or out or anything else like that.
Yeah. I mean, people can say, oh, there's a draft. We know what we're not 2 years old.
Exactly.
Draft is. We know how wind works. So
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the DJ took the camera in the closet. Cameras have microphones. If there's any slight bit of wind,
right,
a microphone picks that up, and not a single ounce. And with the way that door is going open and closed, you would pick up on the movement of that wind on those cameras, and not once did you get any kind of a noise disturbance.
No.
I was gonna say I've sat in that closet and watched it myself and never felt any wind, held my hand immediately up to it with my finger in between the door and watched it close on my finger without feeling anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's unlike anything else.
Yeah, it was just that night. It was just different. And we've had some insane nights in that house, but it was on. I mean, literally, they're dirt and coal are in the cellar and they're trying to leave, and there's just someone on the outside of the cellar just kicking the door closed. Like, you literally watch that freaking cellar door go bam, like someone just booted that thing,
That was wild.
Like,
that was wild.
Yeah. I mean, my gosh. And then we come to the reenactment.
And how stupid can we be to go into the Axe house and recreate what happened? Whose idea was that?
I don't know.
So
it made for good YouTube vision.
That was a time in the paranormal field, and it's almost kind of like the world is today compared to like 20 years ago. It's like, 20 years ago you could say a whole lot of stuff, you could do a whole lot of stuff, and no one could give a flying crap. Now today, you sneeze wrong and someone's like yelling at you saying you're offensive or something like that. It's the same with the paranormal field. Back then, like, it was, everybody was doing things to push it balls to the wall, and let's just be honest, it was the Zach Baggins and stuff like that we were watching on TV, and they were pushing things to the limit. So we're like, oh well, if we want evidence, we got to push it to the limit. And honestly, like, the the bad part, like the not caring part of me is like, dude, I'm so glad we did that because it was made for incredible evidence. But then on the other part, it's like, wow, that was very insensitive, this and that. But back then, it wasn't looked at like this is offensive. Now, I mean, we've turned off the comments on YouTube just because we've heard it. It's like, yes, we know we would never do it again. But it's like, if
all aboard the butthurt train. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Let me say this really quick.
Butthurt about everything.
Let me say this really quick. I don't investigate the paranormal anymore, and I have zero regrets about that reenactment. I wouldn't change a thing. I don't regret it. I don't think it was wrong.
We did great.
I think in regards to paranormal evidence and the research of it, we took it to a level that it needed to be taken to, and we showed things in the paranormal field that is truly possible, and I have zero regrets about that. And if you don't like it, I do not care.
And I wanted to push the house to its breaking point, to its limit.
Yeah.
And
holy moly, yeah, we did.
Like, to completely upset the Axe House purists out there, I don't think the family's there whatsoever. So,
amen, brother. I agree.
True.
Everything but the family is probably there.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I honestly, in our sense of what we know the place is capable of, especially now that that dude stabbed himself and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't think I would do it again. I wouldn't put it, especially, I mean, look what happened. Luckily Johnny is mentally strong, but
Yeah.
like if you would
I
have
think that
put
was
someone,
my faith more than mentally.
Yeah.
okay,
I mean,
yeah,
That was
right.
you
the
could
big guy.
say, who knows? And that's the craziest part about it all. Who knows what
Okay.
happened if I didn't freak out? What happened if Johnny followed through? What?
Yeah, what
You can
happens if
go
you
what
were
if?
if you were still downstairs,
Yeah.
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
yeah, like,
You hear
Yeah.
the EVP after that telling Johnny to do it.
Do it.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do it.
who's to say he wouldn't have?
Yeah.
so
Right.
like this
Just
is
saying.
kind of unknown. Okay, so I think whatever's in that place will try and do what it did that night. Look at Reverend Kelly. The shadow
Mhm.
gave him the axe. In his actual confession, he's saying he felt like he was being led to do something beyond his control. Then you get the guy in the 60s that stabbed his knife with a hand. Then you get the dude that 2014 shoved a knife through his chest. People that aren't
Yeah.
mentally strong or not protected by their faith, whatever's in that house will prey on that. And
Yep.
Interesting. Ooh.
So true.
Yeah. I think you nailed it,
Ooh.
Johnny.
I think you're right.
I agree. And can you like remember what it was like, what you were thinking while you were doing the reenactment, Johnny?
okay, so I went in the attic, and I remember, so it's just me in the attic by myself for a while, and then you guys were just going to randomly come in.
Yep,
And
correct.
as I'm sitting in the attic, at first it's just like, oh, this is kind of creepy. And then I kept hearing whispering behind me in the attic. And it was just like I couldn't make out what it was saying, but I could hear it. But I'm like, just ignore this, ignore it. Like they're going to be coming in pretty soon. And I hear Jesse, oh, hey guys, that was a great church service. Let's go to bed. We got a long day tomorrow, And so I wait for a while. And I also want to see, can this be done? Can a guy sneak out of this attic without anyone hearing? So it kind of had the true crime aspect as well.
And yes, can
Yes.
confirm.
Yes.
To really kind of back up myself, and I don't know if it's just me or if somebody was with me before we even did this. We're like, kids, if you're in this house, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing this. Don't be scared. Like that was said before anything was even
Yes, it
filmed.
was.
Yes.
Thank you. I knew
That-
we had said something to the family, like, hey, we're doing this
Like
for reasons to, like, yeah.
this is why, don't be afraid. This is what we're doing. Like it was explained.
Yeah.
I go out to the parents' bed, and it was just like, whenever I get nervous or awkward, I just start laughing. That's just who I am and what I do. It's like my mechanism or whatever. I'm just kind of giggly because I'm above Jesse with an axe, and it's super weird. And I just hit the floor. And you guys start screaming. Was it you and Megan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Megan.
Yep.
You guys
Yeah.
start screaming, and I'm like, oh, that's like level 10. Okay. So I go
Again, no one explained the whole screaming, freaking out.
That was an on a whim
Which
decision.
would explain me
was.
freaking out.
It wasn't the smartest decision, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
effective.
So then when
Yeah.
I went to the kids' room, as soon as I went through the doorway, the whole vibe changed instantly. It was just like a very big, I should not be doing this. We shouldn't be doing this. Then in my mind, I'm like, just do it, get it over with. We'll never do it again. Like let's just see what happens. I go to the beds in the kids' room, hit the floor. They start screaming. And at that point, I start like zoning out, like I'm half drunk or something. Like I was just out of it. And then I snapped out of it in front of the kids' room, in front of Ina and Lena's room downstairs. Like the whole walking downstairs, I kind of remember taking a few steps down, but the whole parlor room thing, I don't remember any of that. And when I snapped out of it, I thought I heard a voice. And in my mind, I'm like, guys, I'm done. We're done. Like I I didn't think I even finished half of it. It's like, I'm calling this, we can't do this. And I had no idea that, you know, you guys had run out of Ina and Lena's room. I had no clue.
Yeah, I never
idea.
knew whether you knew if we were still in there or not.
No, that's when I was like at the doorway. Like I thought I heard the voice and I kind of snapped out of it, but then I was like trying to look for you guys and I couldn't see anything. And it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's just a very big, I need to stop doing this. Okay, I'm going to stop doing this. They're going to be mad at me because I'm canceling this halfway through and we didn't even finish it. Alone, did I even know that you guys had ran out and I stood downstairs for how long?
Yeah.
And
That's insane, dude.
When I seen that video footage, I just wanted to curl up in the fetal position in my shower and be like, I'm a dirty boy. You know, like I just wanted to go to church every day of the week. You know, it's like that really happened, and I want on the opposite end of that spectrum, and I will never do that again, ever.
Oh man.
Nope.
The wildest thing is like you obviously changed as you went into the kids' room, but you're still smiling.
I
And
don't
it's
remember
like,
that at all.
you were like into it.
Because when I went into the kids' room, that's when it was like very much, this is bad. We shouldn't be doing this. Like I felt real, like a lot of remorse, like this is horrible. Why are we doing this? And it was like, just get it over with quickly.
Yeah.
We'll never do it again. So the whole smiling, nah.
No, that's still that shot where you like turn where DJ's laying and you just like have the biggest grin on your face. And then what always sticks with me is you're standing at the top of the stairs. Cause I think I cut to Cole running out or Gert running out. I think it's Gert. And then I cut back and you're just standing at the top of the stairs. And I always remember from your tour, you said there was a puddle of blood.
Oh, yes.
And you said he stood there and like relished in what he did.
Wow.
And you're standing there, dude.
You're right. In the same freaking spot,
I
dude.
remember.
And the axe is down at your foot. And
where exactly?
Puddling up.
Yep.
It would be puddling up. And you were doing exactly what he freaking did. And you had no idea. And that's like one of the most terrifying things is like you were literally him. He had just taken over, or it was almost like you just got on a track of time and you were just riding a train. And you were just taking his path of the whole thing.
See, I don't even remember that. I don't remember that at all, and I can't watch it. Like I watched it once.
Okay, I was gonna play it, but I won't play it.
No, go ahead and play it. It's fine. Go ahead and play it.
It's freaky, dude.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. It
is.
You got to play it. I mean, it's
okay. I'm gonna play it.
At this point, we have to.
You gotta play it. You gotta play it.
Yeah,
Say
I'll
something
play
quick to follow up with something Cole said. Is that he freaked out when the axe hit the floor? He was freaking out as soon as he laid down in that bed. So something was affecting Cole far before the axe hit the floor.
Some didn't feel right exactly the time I laid in the bed with Gert. Like,
I mean, you told me to hold your hand.
Other than the fact that,
you
know,
that's not you.
Gert's, fluid or whatever you want to call it. But, hey, whoever swings your boat, I ain't gonna discriminate, but
where are we going right now?
I was scared to death. I was absolutely scared to death in that freaking bed.
Stop laughing.
I will say that I have been to a rock concert and Cole has body shielded me from a mosh pit before. I have never seen Cole the way that I've seen him.
It was a 12-hour rock concert that we went to. I drank myself sober that day. Like I didn't get drunk. Like
sorry guys, I didn't mean to go that route.
We're losing it.
All right, let's go back. But okay, just touching on that, we had discussed this for months. I mean, we didn't discuss screaming, but we had discussed this reenactment, and it was like everybody's like, yes, let's do this. This is awesome. This is going to be crazy. And we were all on board to like push the house to its absolute limits. And Cole was right there. And all of a sudden, laying in that bed, all of a sudden it's like he's forgotten all of his drive for it. And it's like just pure freaking fear coming out of it.
Absolute fear.
And
Absolute fear.
people like, I remember like having like people laughing about it. And it's like, you can see, especially if you know Cole, and especially knew him up like his balls to the wall stuff up to that point.
Right.
It's like, dude, who the frick is this? Like, you know, and that's pure fear. It's pure. And I sent that picture to our group earlier of like you looking at the camera, and it was funny, but you can see like, dude, like this dude is like thinks he's gonna die, and that's just scary, man.
And I remember, didn't Gert like run out and kind of get into the parlor room and do a like, what is happening?
He left after the fact. Now, here's the thing that maybe some people don't know is that when I freaked out at Villisca and I ran out into the barn, right?
Yeah.
I'm like hyperventilating, freaking the F out, right? I'm looking at the monitor with the camera views, and at the same time that I look at those monitors, Johnny's eyes just so happens to look at the camera and squints at the same dang time. I kid you not.
Okay.
Wow.
And then that sent me on another freak out mode.
Okay, that's incredible because dude, that's incredible because I always wondered, why did Johnny look at me?
Like, I kid you not. That's
it was like whatever was in like controlling him knew you were looking.
Yes. That was one thing that really freaked me out to the point where I was like, all right, we ain't messing around with something like, you know, funny money type of thing. Like this is like legit like freak out mode. Yeah.
Bro, that's
that was that freaked me out the most because I remember I went in there, I was freaking out, and then I happened to look at the Foursquare of the monitor, and just as that, here's Johnny's face looks, and he squints right out the same, you know, the Foursquare picture. It was
wow.
I remember coming out of the house to check on Cole, and I get to the barn, and he's just beet red, sobbing, crying, looking at the camera saying, Johnny killed them. They're dead. He killed them. And he fully believed that Johnny killed everyone that was upstairs. And I was like, no, he didn't.
Dude.
Wow.
It was bad.
The things we're learning 10 years later, like Megan's stuff that she had in the school, and then this truly blows my mind because I've always wondered, I'm like, I mean, it's just like creepy, and I was like, oh, that's awesome, but like, why did Hauser look right at the camera?
No, I kid you not. That's exactly the time that I looked at the camera, and he turned his face right to the camera, and I just busted out crying some more. It was bad. It was really bad.
It makes so much more sense now, Cole, to see why that left such an impact on you. Because when you look at it from just the perspective of, oh, you're freaked out because you hear a screaming, or you freak out because you hear the axe hit the floor and you weren't expecting that, that's one thing. But to look at it from what you just gave us and see the whole picture, it changes the entire perspective on how you went from literally nothing scaring you to literally almost everything scaring you.
Yeah, that was a huge impact that I thought. I was like, all right.
And I know I think we
take a deep breath, David thing.
I think we've discussed this in the past, and I'm just going to kind of take this section and place it when we talk about it. But I think we've discussed how maybe Cole was being affected by like the spirits of like Ina and Nina, because it was like an overpowering like terror in him. And then, so okay, if Johnny is being like attached, the killer is like kind of attached to him at that point, and they're attached to him. Like I was watching today and I was timing how long Johnny stood in the doorway of the blue room before it said do it. He stood there for a little bit, and it was like, where is it? Like it was like he was searching for them. And when he looked into that camera now, it was like he knew that their spirits were watching him somewhere. And it was like they were attached to him at that point. You know, and then it was like it left almost an imprint on Cole, because Cole was never the same.
No.
After that,
Yeah.
you were never the same. You were balls to the wall, Cole.
Yeah, I can remember being at Farrar with Cole in the lunchroom where they'd make the food. He's like, "Come on, Goose, make me a damn sandwich."
Maybe a sandwich.
And,
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I've never had anything happen. I don't know." Like Cole
No,
was
that one.
balls of steel. That man.
Yeah, and Cole would laugh. Like Cole laughed at like the whole. You know, he says that, make me a sandwich in Farrar, and then all of a sudden, like the floor creaks and something moves towards him. He's like, "Whoa!" And he's like laughing. And then same with the shadow. He's laughing about the shadow in the office. Like, this is awesome. And then after that, like that whole thing, it was like they like left an imprint on of like fear.
That was the one. Like I tell you what, I vividly remember freaking out, running out of the house, sitting down in front of the monitor right there, and I'm staring at the cameras for the quad, and I was looking at the camera that Johnny was going into in the parlor, and it squinted right at me and looked, and it almost like it's like it knew, you know, hey, I got you. And after that, I saw that, I was like, no, it's all over. Like I freaked the F out more after I saw that, on top of what was happening prior to that, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna play it here.
Can I say while we're waiting for this that I had to fast forward? I couldn't actually watch it.
Oh,
really?
So I'm gonna watch it.
Here we go.
I'm gonna watch it too.
All right, here we go, kids.
Why do you have to
As
do
discussed, the team was going to do the reenactment. Johnny would play the murderer with the supposed actual acts from the murders. Jesse and Megan would lie in JB and Sarah's room. Seth and DJ would lie in the kids' room. And Cole and Dan would lie in the blue room.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
I wasn't the first one.
No, you gotta sleep on this. I don't want to take first. Squish you down. Good night, Lena. Good night, Ayman. What the fuck are you doing? Good night.
It just something fell off that whole when I was laying in that bed, man.
There goes the door.
It just
Yep.
And the door was banging up and down. I mean, come on.
And the door never. Once Johnny comes out, the door doesn't open anymore.
It's insane. Why do you have to have my audio and not like, you know, yours or?
It was the only place we had the audio recorder.
Of course. Way.
I'm gonna put you in
Or no,
the
we didn't have a
bus.
DVR camera up down there. That's right.
I'm not gonna lie, that freaked the F out when he started screaming. Like, I really, if the height of fear wasn't high enough, you just had to add the extra zip.
Yeah, it freaked me out when they did it. It's like, oh, whoa, okay.
Kind of unplanned.
It was just kind of like with the moment.
Yeah.
It was instinctual, to be quite
It
honest.
was. It really was.
Oh. Scared the shit out of me.
For the reenactment, the team hadn't discussed screaming during the killings. So
Still
while it was
scared the shit
happening,
out of
Cole
me.
began to think the reenactment had gone terribly wrong.
That picture.
I know. The thing is if you watch Cole, he freaks the F out before the screams start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
There's that smile.
Oh my god! Oh!
He gone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right
No
here.
thanks.
This
I'm
is it
out.
right here.
F that
just-
shit.
You're just standing there,
No.
Johnny. You're just standing there.
Right.
And
Oh,
see,
yeah.
this is right at the beginning of the stairs.
Yep. You're
Yep.
relishing in it at this point, Johnny.
Right.
This is crazy.
By this time, I'm already out. Gert's still.
I am at the top of this stuff. Wow.
I think
I also
Gert's
know-
still farting around. And now he leaves. Okay, there you go.
Also notice as Johnny starts to descend the stairs, the closet is open and then it's shut as the attic door. Oh, now it's opening a bit.
Wow.
Oh. Right
You know what's
there.
crazy too?
There you
is-
go. See,
is the
fact-
this is where I'm freaking out.
There he is.
Right there, he turns. And that's exactly when I
Wow, you
look
took a
at
double-
him.
Johnny, you took a double take too. Like,
And that was when I broke out and I just started crying again. Like it was that bad.
What am I even doing?
you like get ready to do it,
Yeah,
And
you
then-
throw the axe and then you're like, oh wait.
and then the voices start here.
You're like, do it.
You almost do it.
Do it. You're like, and then you snap out and be like, guys, turn around. Yep.
Guys.
There you go.
Johnny ended the reenactment because he heard this being whispered in his ear.
That was right on the.
It must also be noted that during the first part of the reenactment, Johnny had a very large, evil grin on his face.
So Johnny, you don't recall doing that right away out the gate?
No.
So you did say you were laughing.
He
so that might
swears he didn't
explain
smile while doing
No,
this.
The laughing was at the parents' bed. I remember that distinctly because it's just super awkward.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that as well.
And then when I
I
got
do
to the kids' room, when I crossed the threshold of that door, that's when it like the overwhelming guilt of like, this is bad. So when I was in the kids' room, that was the point of, this is horrible. Why are we doing this? I shouldn't be doing this. And then I was like, just finish, get it over with, never do it again. So the only time I was kind of like, was the parents' room. And then right when you guys screamed, that kind of, it's like, this is weird. And then I got to the kids' room and it's like, this is not good. So at that point, it was at the not good phase of everything.
One thing I wanted to mention, especially after rewatching it over the past couple of days, because I rewound it a few times just to take it all in. And I was just thinking about my place in this reenactment. And after you brought the axe down, I remember obviously hearing Seth scream. I think Seth's scream sounds the most realistic and the most terrifying and most surprised. Ours, mine and Megan's were more like blunt screams. Like Seth was like, it seemed most childlike, like caught off guard, screaming for help kind of thing. The thing that I don't remember, I don't remember much about after that. Like after you finished with Seth and DJ, it's almost like I went blank as well. I was clearly present because the moment you said, guys, I'm the first that goes, yeah. Like I was ready.
Yeah.
Like I have no memory of it. It feels like it took an eternity for you to get downstairs.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing Cole run out, and you hear every footstep in that house.
Yeah,
I have
remember
no
that
memory of hearing Cole run out. I have no memory of hearing Cole cry. He was not being quiet, okay? You hear voices in the parlor, in the kids' bedroom upstairs, and into the parent. You hear everything in this house.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we all had earmuffs on, and we were all silenced by the severity of the moment that we were recreating. Because I never heard Cole. I never heard Gert leave. I never heard a door open or shut. I did not hear Johnny walk down the stairs. I didn't hear him drop the axe in this trance. I don't remember any of that. But the thing that I remember hearing is Johnny's voice crying out for help, to stop. And it's like that is what snapped it all clean out of the house and brought us all back to the present moment. And I don't know if you guys feel the same, but reflecting over that I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, like I was standing evidently at the top of the steps, which I do not remember any of that happening.
Yeah.
Which is feet from the door as these guys are running out and the door's slamming. I didn't, and you can clearly see me like looking for them. I had no idea any of that happened.
Right.
Yeah, the axe dropped down, and then you stand on top of the railing, to go downstairs, and you just stood there for a while, and then you went down the stairs.
In my mind, it went way different. But watching the video footage, it's like evidently I was way off. I don't remember. That's so
It's scary. It's scary.
I can kind of echo what Jesse said. I just looking back on that, I remember feeling sad Like I remember like because you started so I was on like this side of the bed and I think Jesse was on this side and you started with Jesse and it was like that first hit all I felt was just sadness and then just darkness. Nothing. I remember nothing else.
Seriously, you say explaining it, I felt darkness and nothing else. That's literally all I can remember when I think back to that is just dark. That's all I remember is dark silence.
And like even rewatching it, I mean, I had to take off the head. I can't even talk about it.
I heard Cole ringing out, and I was laying there in the dark, and I didn't hear Cole crying anymore. And I was just silent. I never heard one footstep from Hauser. Not one.
That's what I'm the same as you guys. I never heard anything from Cole. I never heard anything downstairs. I never heard the door slam. I think if I remember right, I can remember laying there going, when is it going to happen? When's the downstairs going to happen? Like, I remember having that like anticipation, but I didn't think like, oh, what the frick's going on? Why is it taking so long? And the other thing is until we watched this footage back, none of us had a real idea of what happened.
Yeah.
Because I remember Johnny just going, guys, I heard like do it or something telling me to do it and this has got to stop. And so we were done with it. Like we were ended, but like it was later on that we slowly unraveled and Johnny's like, yeah, I don't remember how I got downstairs. I don't remember this. And I'll still remember sitting, like I remember dropping to our kitchen floor when I watched him smiling, and I text him. I was like, "Did you do this?" And Johnny's like, "No, I never smiled." And I never forget just like how floored I was by that.
I can still see that moment in our kitchen right now.
Yeah,
I'll never forget.
Yeah, and
I'll never forget.
I read the Facebook status the other day on my memories of like, oh my gosh, the most insane footage we ever got and this and that. Like, who's mind blown?
I remember the phone call I got when that was found.
Yeah, yes, yes. Yep, that was all just like freaking out in the kitchen. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Johnny had to go. Like you were done. And you were spent.
Just over.
And and I can still remember we came back. We went to Villisca one more time after that the next year, and we had tried to have Johnny investigate with us, but I still remember like it wasn't the same ever again.
No,
like it wasn't. It like we couldn't do it, you know. And
that next time at Villisca is when I had my experience that took me out of the paranormal field. So again, all that house does is change lives. It really does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It all seems so innocent up until that point.
Yeah.
It, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what I was gonna.
So go ahead, Seth.
Well, no, I was gonna backtrack. If you were gonna say something about the reenactment, go ahead.
So after the reenactment, what have you come across since then that isn't related to what we came across beforehand? Has it gotten a lot darker? Like what's the vibe compared to like way back in the day when we investigated?
I don't even know. And I think I just kind of choose not to know because that was the point where I really distanced myself. Like up until that point, man, if the overnight's canceled, I'm in the house. I'm in the house from 4 p.m. till the overnights come. Like I'm investigating all the time. And like after that, I just didn't care to anymore. It's like, okay, this is some next level stuff that I want nothing to do with. And seeing yourself on video doing something that you don't remember was enough for.
It'll scare you.
It's just like, nah, this ain't cool. This isn't a door slamming or a footstep.
Right.
You know, me and Cole aren't in the lunch lady's room telling her to make us a sandwich, you know. Like
Right.
it's just so innocent up to that point, and at that point, it's like just changed. And
So would you say, since then, as of like right now, has it gotten any darker, or what's the vibes like? Because obviously you've got to know something, because
so I swore that
Deal
place
with it.
off until Nick wanted me to do the whole Viddy space thing. Like, fudge. Yeah.
This is 2018.
Okay, let's
the
do it.
fudge blank.
So my assessment of that place at this point is it's just like a giant mirror that reflects back to you exactly what you put into it. You know what I mean? Like if you go in there wanting to roll a ball and have a kid roll a ball to you, that's probably what you're going to get. If you go in shaking the hornet's nest, you're going to get
That's where
stung.
you're gonna get. Yeah.
Like it's going to, whatever you put into it, it's going to give back to you times 10. Whatever's in there, I have no idea. Like with the Viddy space stuff is like, okay, cool. I'm going to try and figure out, starting with the Native American burying ground. I learned enough Meskwaki language to ask EVP questions. Nothing. Played with the kids. Nothing. Did this. Nothing. It's like Rose Red. It's its own entity. The Axe House is something itself.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mhm. Well, and do I remember correctly that there was some sort of
Cool.
portal in a closet? Am I thinking of
Pantry.
another location? Yes.
The
The
pantry.
pantry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's been, Darwin had a garage full of like 300 and some odd Ouija boards. Like, dude, your garage is the portal to hell, Darwin. What
Are
you
you
doing?
kidding me? No way.
Because people would just bring them there and they didn't want to take them to their house, so they'd just leave them, and he'd take them, throw them in his van, throw them in his garage.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's what he would do. Then they had
Wow.
some college kids had a demon evoking ceremony, and I'm like, these idiots probably screwed it up.
no.
So I text
Oh,
Katrina. I'm like, should I be worried about this? I'm guaranteed they messed it up and didn't do it correctly. And she's like, well, it's more the intent than doing it correctly.
It's true.
There for like a month, we're getting EVPs in French. And that's when we
Ooh.
did the TAPS event. And I was telling Dustin and KJ that. and
No kidding.
They're like,
Wow.
yeah, okay. Afterwards, so they come out and they go, dude, we asked questions in French and got replies. I'm like, I told you. If I was going to make it up, I'd say Swahili or something cool like that.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But
That's
that
cool.
place,
Wow.
I used to have my pulse, like my finger on the pulse of that place, and I don't even know. I have no idea. I don't even want to know. You know?
And I think that's good, Johnny.
Yeah.
You've been so overexposed to that location. It's like with me in politics right now, I had to pull myself away because I was so oversaturated that it was just tearing me down.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the point? So I literally just got rid of all news. I got rid of all the bull crap. And
Yeah.
I was like, I just can't care anymore.
Yeah.
I know where I
Exactly.
want to go, and I need to do that. And so I think that that's the best thing for you to do. Even if it's short term, long term, it doesn't matter. For you right now, it's just the best to go, I don't know what's going on over there. And frankly, I don't care because it has nothing to do with me.
It's whatever
I
that
went in-
healthy boundary is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I went into the kitchen one day, and I'm just like, yo, like, I got to work here. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. Screw with the overnights all you want. I don't care. Leave me out of this.
Yeah.
But then I'm like trying to bargain with it. I'm like, you need me here. If I'm not here, you don't have people to mess with.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you need me to like still be here. So lay off, Jack.
Yeah, you got work. You got work them.
Yeah,
Work them left
exactly.
and right. You know,
So
makes sense.
honestly, now whenever, so I'll get a lot of kids that, and what's kind of cool is there's a lot of new young kids ghost hunting now. It's like this whole new crop of kids, and they're like, oh, we just started our team. This is our very first investigation. And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
you really want to start this?
Wow.
room?
But I'm just
Wow.
like, okay, don't
Have
push
fun.
the issue. Like if you want to like provoke and do the come at me bro stuff, like somebody starts getting weird, get out of the house.
They're gonna
Yeah, call
push.
it.
Yeah,
Yep,
you
call
push it, it's gonna push back. Hold on to your britches.
But then part of me, and it's very weird and very Norman Bates, I feel like I'm almost delivering people night after night to this place.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sure,
Here you
dude.
go. Here you go.
Like
know, it's so weird.
feeding the house.
Yes.
Yeah, you
That's what I
gotta
feel
feed
like.
The house. Feed the house
Oh.
the fear.
But if
You're
it
the fear house.
if it takes heat off of me, and I'm just like, here you go. Here's these
I'm offering
college
sacrifices.
kids. Right.
You're offering sacrifices to the house.
That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. It's like,
that's
here's
awesome.
some more college kids for you.
Yeah. They have no
Oh.
clue what you're doing, so scare the shit out of them, and don't scare me.
And I hear the same thing over and over. And this is what is creepy to me. Oh man, before I came here, I had nonstop dreams of the house. It's almost like the house is calling me back. Same stuff that you guys were saying
Oh my gosh.
10 years
No
ago.
way.
Yes. There's like
Wow.
people out there with tattoos of the house. I don't have a tattoo.
Tattoos? What?
I don't have a tattoo of the house.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Really?
Yeah. So
Dude,
it's like it's
That's
still
hardcore.
doing its thing.
I'm not gonna lie, that's hardcore.
It's still doing its thing. It's still drawing people to it. But
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so are you still run the gig, or you offset to someone else, or what are you doing there?
No, like, and in fact, this year, Martha is just like, you're taking care of all week. You got all week. You're doing all the overnights. Like, it's just kind of handing reins over type of a thing.
Oh
She
wow.
don't, well, obviously she really wasn't interested in anything of that to begin with. She just liked money that was coming in.
Right.
Come on, let's not kid ourselves. That's pretty much
Let's not go there.
She loved the money coming in. She really didn't give a shit about anything else.
All right. All right.
All right. This is
Let's
going
figure
on
this
YouTube,
out.
so.
Let's get back on track. Let's finish this up.
Okay.
It's almost midnight.
Oh, shit.
I got to go back real quick to what you said. I think you know better than anybody that you have to find this medium with the house, because it wears on you, and it like, I mean, I'm not saying that Darwin got sick because of that house, but parts of me think that at its height is when he got sick. You know, like when it was just pumping, like becoming a thing. All of a sudden, Darwin's sick, and then he was gone faster than a blink of an eye.
Right.
And then I can't remember her name. It was the first tour guide that we ever had that died of the brain aneurysm.
Game Boy.
Yeah, Game Boy. We always called her Game Boy because she played Game Boy while she was waiting for us. And she died out of nowhere, you know.
So I've never told anyone this. I went to her funeral, and her name was Cindy, and the preacher the whole time is like talking about mental health, and he's like, she was really bothered. She thought a shadow from the Axe house was following her home.
Whoa.
Holy crap.
And when he said that, I was just like,
What?
yeah.
What am I getting myself into now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I've never
right?
told anyone that. I got
Come on.
so much of this stuff I've never told anyone. That's like the tip of this is like not even the tip of the iceberg. Like
I don't doubt it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I've never told anyone because I don't think I want to acknowledge it out loud. You know what I mean?
Johnny, is this
Yeah,
something
that
you want
makes
us to edit out?
No, it's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
she
maybe we could overlay footage of Cindy for that part.
She thought
Yeah.
the preacher said she thought that she was being followed home by a shadow from the Axe house. And instantly I go to Reverend Kelly with the shadow, blah, blah, blah.
Dude.
But I don't feel threatened by the shadow. I don't feel threatened at all. I feel like whatever that is happy that I'm doing the tours, as weird as that sounds.
Or
So-
being helpful.
So like I was doing day tours. Some lady comes, she goes, "Can I take photos in the house?" I'm like, "Yeah, go for it." She brings out an old like
Good.
from the Civil War.
Oh.
And I'm like, man, I've always wanted my picture taken with a tintype. She goes,
Like
"I
the
got-"
old timey, like they
yeah,
explode.
yeah.
Oh,
She goes, I got one tin left. So we go in the attic, and I'm sitting in front of the Amityville windows, and I'm trying to do my best gunslinger pose, like look really cool and mean. And this camera didn't have a flash on the front. So she's got her light meter out. She's like, it's not going to show. It's not going to turn out. It's too dark in here. But at that point, you're committed, you know?
yeah.
So the picture did turn out, and you can see me sitting there. The Amityville windows are behind me. You see lens flare in front of me, but there's a shadow behind me. And at first I just thought it was my shadow. And I'm like, wait, the light's coming from behind. That's not how shadows work. Light has to come from in front of me to cast a shadow behind me. And I got looking at the head and the shoulders, like my shoulders kind of went like that. And these shoulders are totally different. Like it's a different shadow behind me. I'm like, is that the shadow? But it was almost like a portrait of me sitting there with it, just like, hey.
Hanging out, yeah.
Like it wasn't a threatening feeling. It's just like a whatever that is. Just so
That's
Norman
cool.
Bates. So Norman Bates and weird.
Dude, no.
So
It's
my question would be, if and when you ever stop, if things will change for you. Because it's looked at you as the way to keep itself alive, keep itself relevant, keep itself energized, that you've allowed thousands of people at this point into its realm, if you will. So why would it not befriend you? You've had more conversations in that house than any other person that we are aware of, at least.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you're its friend. And so for you to be aware of that now, I think is very beneficial for when and if you do cut ties with that, you know, before you pass on.
Yeah. You know, I believe that God's got me. Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
just like in Farrar,
sure.
he's more powerful than that.
Yeah.
Like I'm,
Yep.
I'm not worried.
honestly, when I worked at Farrar, I started to begin to like, it was almost like he was like a horrible ghost, whatever, but I almost had this weird like mutual respect with Wes. It was like we hated each other.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me. I
Time,
won't mess with
we
you.
knew
We'll be
we
fine.
knew that like he knew I was the boss and I knew he was the boss on the other side.
Right.
It was
Same
like
thing.
and it's weird. And he didn't dick with me. And I would push him, but I knew that, you know, what he was capable of. And I remember he would say my name often. And I just like knew, like he knows me and I know him. And it's the same thing.
It's like your coworkers in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know, like you may
Yeah.
not like each other, but you kind of do because you work together. Like,
Yeah, you know he's a prick, but you still like, it's like, you know what he's capable of and he knows what you're capable of. So yeah.
I think if anything now, I have a respect for the house. I know what it can do and I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
And it knows that I can go 10 feet across my yard and burn that mofo to the ground, you know, and there'd be no more house. So he knows what I can do.
Yeah.
And he knows who I belong to.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I really can't do anything to that guy.
I could push
I'm not
him.
challenging. I'm not challenging.
Right. No.
Whatever.
Yeah, no.
Leave it to the overnights. Screw with them.
Yeah.
Stay out of my house.
If I can just
the
add,
overnights.
yeah, I think I would say it's a mutual understanding that you have. Like it's an understanding of the relationship that exists there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And you know, hey, if you want to scare the crap out of some college kids, have at it, man. I would be doing the same thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's not like it hasn't tried with you, because like you know when you told us the stories a bunch of times of how you literally spent days in that house, started seeing your, you know, Lish's blood and stuff like that. Like you literally, it was like visions coming through.
And that's
know?
when I was like really going down the rabbit hole, and it was starting to try and latch on to me. And then it's like, nope, not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think
Good for
it
you.
starts realizing how strong you are and like you're protected and this and that. And so
Mhm.
it's like, all right, well, let's come to a common ground here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of that replays in my mind is like the story, like when Jesus went to the island that was had all these demons and blah blah blah. He steps 1 foot on it, and every demon on this island's like, nope, and like that keeps replaying in my mind of, okay, I'm good, and I don't think it's a demon over there. I think it's something nasty,
Something
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's a revolving door almost, like things come to visit, it's literally like, where the trade towers used to stand and that beacon that goes up in the air. That's like what I see Villisca as in the paranormal, is like it's this massive beacon, and it's like there is a lot to feed on here, especially, and it's a lot of negative like to feed on. So you go to Jesse's experience in dealing with the demon and this and that, like that demon could have just been there for a little bit to visit, like just like, what can I find here?
Right.
I think we're all on our own journeys. Every one of us started doing this for completely different reasons. I've been with you, Seth, at Farrar, and you're like, dude, are you hearing this? No. You're not hearing this? Nope, not at all. That was specific to your journey. It wasn't specific to my journey. That's why I wasn't hearing anything,
Yeah.
It's like we're all on this choose your own adventure book.
Yeah.
Amen.
So like I had my experience at the Sally house, which changed, like that's my Bobby Mackey's, I've talked to people that's been to the Sally house and they're like, nothing happened. Well, it's not part of the journey.
Really? There's people who have said nothing happened at the Sally.
Oh yeah. They're like, that's boring. Nothing. Like,
wow. What? What?
Yeah.
Come on.
There's no
insane.
way.
Wow.
That is Farrar for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Everything affects people differently. Perception is everything.
Yep. Exactly.
Absolutely.
But my thoughts are like, okay, ghosts being trapped in a place. Say somebody dies on the 3rd floor of this building, hangs himself, and the building's demolished. Is there a ghost 40 feet in the air haunting that part of the air,
Yeah.
Or it could be the property itself that they haunt.
Right.
The property, it's not the building itself or the elevation, it's the
land.
plot of land.
The land. Which I think is what Villisca is. Villisca, whatever was there before the house. Just some unlucky soul built that house on where the devil took the biggest dump, is more or less like that's literally that soul is so goddamn tainted, man. And I think this goes back to all our discussions about Villisca and all the crazy stuff that has happened in that town itself,
Right.
Yeah.
I almost think of it as like a weird energetic whirlpool of like stuff that just gets sucked in and happens.
Right.
And it's like this weird energy twist that just continues forever.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like that place is like a piece of gum gets like lost under the couch, and it just like keeps rolling around and picking up lint and picking up dirt. And I know it, but it just keeps like sticking. Things keep sticking to it. So you have all these morons that come in and do all this stupid crap. So then that sticks to it, And then you have these people that come in and they're just looking for the kids and they're playing ball and this and that sticks to it, And what created that, and then it was there. And then and then the murders happened. It just like amplified that stickiness or whatever you want to call it. And Yeah,
I really,
man.
I really believe that whatever was there before the murders even happened.
100%. I
Totally agree.
Yeah.
And it
couldn't
just
agree.
keeps preying on weak people to
Yep.
Yep.
do whatever it wants, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
And who knows what kind of actions it was influencing back when the Moores were still alive,
Yeah.
Influencing business decisions and whatnot. We all know that the influence of, these kind of things, these kind of spirits or whatever you want to call it, can branch farther out than just a small intimate family. It can affect occupation. It can affect emotion. It can affect your freaking vehicles.
Mhm.
Seth and I went to Missouri State Penitentiary. My car was beautiful. The day back, it caused my transmission to blow.
Right.
And I had a second guess about parking in the property of the prison because I was like, I don't know that I trust this. And I had a second guess. I ignored it and my transmission blew. Like these things can affect so much more than I think we realize. And it probably goes way farther back than the Moors. We just don't know about it.
Yep.
Yep.
Crazy, dude.
It was just one of those nights where the atmosphere was right, the people were right, everything was just lined up perfectly for
Yep.
what transpired.
Exactly.
I really think that
Exactly.
we're like the plants aligned,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
this is what you got.
Yep.
It was
it-
all of our journeys coming together at the same point in time for different reasons, but also the same end goal.
Yeah.
But I don't think
yeah.
I don't think the end goal has happened because I think
No.
all of us need to go to Malvern Manor.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I think that's what's
Yes.
next.
That is
Count me in.
that is
Yes.
three of us have been there together. Me, Gert, and Cole had been there together. And then Jesse and I were there together and literally there for like 2 minutes and we were hearing things and stuff. I don't even know what would happen there if all of us got together. The freaking roof would blow off the
The
house.
dream team back again.
Hey yo.
Okay. Okay. I take back my yes.
Malvern's incredible, man. So obviously we did the reenactment, and again, to sum up the reenactment and thing, going back again, it's just like this story, this movie was like the ghost wrote this thing. They knew, like, it's like this was the end, the finale, and we got everything we wanted out of it. Could have a million other things happened, yes, but it was like it was storytelling, and we didn't even like do it. It just happened. It's not like we sat there and we're like, okay, we got to make sure Johnny gets possessed, and we got no, like it just happened. It just happened, and it was
Right.
Yep.
That's the charm of Haunted Iowa is we filmed it, I edited it, but it wasn't like we were there, yes, but like everything that happened is what made that film. The story that developed is what made that film. It's not that great a quality, terrible cameras, audio's awful. It sounds like me as the narrator literally is chewing on the mic while I'm narrating it. But it has a charm, and like here we are 10 years later, and almost 500,000 people have watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And and it continues. I mean, we have friends, our buddy Connor, who works for Travel Channel now and stuff. He's like, Haunted Iowa was one of the biggest reasons I got into filming.
Wow.
And he goes, there's
Wow.
just something about it. There's something about it.
Nice.
He's like, it's not the greatest quality. It's not this, it's that, but there's just something. There's like about it. And I'm like, exactly. And we always say it's like a real life, almost Blair Witch come to life. Like Blair Witch is not good quality. It's shaky. It's ugly in a lot of places, but there's just this charm to it. And that's what we always say. And that was Connor who said that.
Yeah.
And which is the greatest compliment in the world to me.
Can I just say that my favorite thing about Haunted Iowa is just the real raw journey that it was. I mean, it
Yes.
was a journey. It told the story of CCPI and who we were and what mission we were on. And that's what I
Yes.
loved most about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why this is
it
going to stand the
wasn't
test of time.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't like a bunch of like overdone production and B-roll and stuff like that. It was literally a $100 HD camera I bought off of eBay or something like that. Filmed all this shaky, and then I for some reason love saturation so much that I oversaturated everything. And that was your
That's
B-roll.
true.
And
That is true. That
you
is
know,
true.
oh dude, the saturation's awful. I don't know what my deal was with that. But like that's what your production is. There's no reenactments. There's no like sit down well lit interviews. It's not a huge production. It's literally like, here, I want to go hang out with a paranormal team and I want to see what it's like to be part of a paranormal team. Here's a camera. And that's what we did,
Yeah.
And we gave you we didn't just give you a bunch of people sitting in a room for 6 hours, but we just showed you what we did. Yeah.
What I love most of anything is like a bunch of dopey kids running around haunted locations with a camera. But the moment any one of us said help, all of us were there.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Like Villisca, hey guys, like you guys were running out of the bed downstairs. You had no idea what you're going to run into downstairs. You had no idea what was happening.
Right.
Ran down
So
there
true.
blindly because I needed help. That's
Yeah.
like the bond that we could be 60 years old. And if I see any of you, I will do anything for, it just,
Oh yeah, same.
it's
Well,
like
and is
war coming back from a battle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Describe it.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why we all
Sure.
came here today. I mean, when Seth sent the message out of, hey, let's get together, I'm like, yes, I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah.
And we literally, it's been over a decade since all of us have sat down and chatted, but it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No.
I mean,
No.
Feels like yesterday.
So many things have changed personally in all of our lives in the last decade, like massive things.
Massive.
And here we are talking about all of this without skipping a beat, laughing like it's all happened last week.
Mhm.
That again is a testament to more than just a paranormal documentary, but the journey of strangers becoming family.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's
Amen.
Friday night. It's prime time for
Look
people.
at you.
And we're all like, yep, we'll be there. Yep.
Yeah,
No problem.
Yeah.
Whatever.
exactly.
That's the best part, man. That's
Yep.
so cool. And yeah,
I'm going to give you a big hug when I see you next time, Jesse.
well, to kind of wrap up this whole reunion and this whole discussion, it's Haunted Iowa, as I touched on a little bit, but Haunted Iowa came out during a lot of times that people were trying to like make a name for themselves. They were trying to make their web series and stuff like that. But Haunted Iowa hit different in a lot of areas. And we had a premiere in a Real Deal theater. It was actually a haunted theater. And
We investigated it too.
Proud. Oh yeah, we did.
Oh.
All the technical difficulties you could ever think of. We had, I don't know how many times.
Such a
ran
pain in the
through-
ass. Yeah, that sucked. That
Dude,
sucked. I'm not
It
gonna
was
lie.
so bad. It was so bad. But you know what? It was
It didn't
it's
work.
given all the crap, and it literally, that was the original cut, was over 3 hours freaking long. Everybody stood and applauded, and everybody was excited, and everybody shook our hands, and everybody pre-ordered and wanted the DVD. And my gosh, it was surreal because we had made films before, Jesse and I, little films, little short films, and this was our a 3-hour movie that the first one ever. And my gosh, and it literally, we huge premiere, sold out multiple
Printings or whatever.
Printings of the movie. It went on to
Boner
Amazon.
alert.
I'll still
Pretty much that's what it was. It was a boner alert.
Yeah.
Let's be frank. Come on. I know you're trying to do this whole came from the bottom, now I'm here type of thing,
Yes.
but come on.
Nope, you're right. 100%.
Might as well just throw it out there right now. Let's not BS around the bush. Come on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then we eventually got it to go into Amazon, and I'll still never I'll still never forget when Johnny texted me and said, dude, Haunted Iowa is listed right next to The Conjuring on Amazon.
Yes,
Halloween pick.
Yeah, must see Halloween movies.
Nice.
Mind blowing.
Wow.
And I remember, and Iowa Museum in Waterloo requested a whole shipment of copies, and they sold them all out. And and then that's hearsay. It was just something like this, and it was not like, hey, we got somewhat of a hit on our hands. It was, we're able to get our journey out there. We're able to get our story out to these people so they can see what we went through and what we wanted to show to people. And then 10 years later, it's still showing to people, and people are still watching.
It's still resonating.
It still resonates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and as you were just saying that, I was thinking, okay, we've got almost 500,000 on YouTube, but who knows how many other people have seen our journey and our story?
Yeah.
Who knows
exactly.
how many times that DVD has been passed around,
Oh yeah. I remember someone messaged me on Facebook, just some random stranger, and they're like, hey, I found this in a pawn shop in Waterloo, and it was freaking Haunted Iowa.
Nice.
And
No
they're
way!
like, this is
You
awesome.
should have bought it out from under them. I will.
No, he was like, I'm happy I bought.
I'll give you
this. This is
$6.
so good.
$6. Famous.
But yeah, it was awesome. Awesome to see that. It's just cool to see something it's like we came together, we created this, and it became something. It was something special, and it will always be that.
Yeah.
Extremely
I still
humbling.
have
very.
I still have the movie poster front and center over my computer constantly, that we all autographed, and it hung at the premiere. And I cherish that. This is still the original shirt from Haunted Iowa, and I want to put it in a frame at some point, just because I want to remember, I never want to forget.
Do it.
Those days. I never want to forget that time.
And now
I will. Don't you worry.
We got 4K audio, drones, you name it. We can do it. We can do it up for the next one.
And Zoom. I mean, look at this. Look what we're doing right now. It's insane.
And Zoom.
Yeah.
It's insane.
For sure.
This wasn't a thing.
No, my gosh.
No.
It needs to happen. Gosh, there's so many things. And then that just brings us to the ever 10 years of a discussion of a sequel. And I will say, there is plenty of footage that I have from 10 years of journeys to make a sequel, and I want to do that. And I want to make a sequel from what we've done in the past 10 years, because there's a lot that we've done.
A lot.
But there's always room for more. So, my gosh.
Well,
guys, get me back to Iowa.
Here's a fun fact for everyone that maybe someone don't know is the Johnny's already correct.
I can't wait for this.
It's a revelation.
Okay.
I tell you, if you have I think either the DVD or the Blu-ray, one of them, if you put it in and you either go to the chapter section and the arrow all the way over to the right, there's a square that it highlights that no one sees. And if you hit enter, it does it's a Easter egg of the disc.
What about that?
Yeah, I remember
forgot.
that.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
It is cool.
I forgot.
And
I forgot.
That's another thing I really want to find another like producer of DVDs, because Amazon stopped. So I really want to get it back physical copy, because I literally have the Blu-ray and that's it. Jesse, you don't have a copy, do you?
No, I do.
Oh, you have a physical copy?
Yep.
Okay, good. But
I
yeah,
have one
really
I'm
somewhere.
not cool enough to have a Blu-ray, so whatever.
I have probably about 6
You didn't have
editions
yet.
of it piled up somewhere over here. Because because every time I make a tweak, I play it and look at it and was like, oh, well, you know, the letters are off by like this much type of thing. So I was like, dang it. So I have to rip the DVD or the Blu-ray off, recreate it, and then burn it, and then review it again to make sure it's askew. It's complicated. It's a
Oh,
All right.
thing.
So, in closing, we're going to wrap this up. It's been at this for literally 5 hours. I want to, first of all, I want to thank you guys, all of you, for joining tonight.
I love
it
you.
means a lot to us.
Yeah.
It really does.
seriously.
It has been one heck of a journey. We've mentioned it so many times tonight that it's insane that it's been 10 years, 11 years since we started the process, basically. And what a ride it's been. It has been a roller coaster. We have had a lot of ups and we've had a lot of downs. And they've made us stronger individually, stronger as a family, stronger as groups, you know, and we've been able to take those mindsets to other groups of friendships and things that we've now encountered as adults in our relationships and our marriages and all that. I love you all. I appreciate everything that you've ever done for CCPI. I want to say specifically thank you to everybody who's watching this, everyone who's given Haunted Iowa a new life since Halloween of 2018. We did not know what we were getting ourselves into when we put Haunted Iowa on YouTube. And it took a while, but it caught steam, and it caught steam fast. And it was exciting, and it was humbling, and it really allowed us to reevaluate and just see that, again, like some people have been saying over the last couple of weeks, that this is something that will stand the test of time. And it goes back to that characteristic that none of us can put our finger on. We just don't know exactly what it is about this film that will just continue living on. But each and every one of you is just as important part of it as the next. And every single person that is investing their time and their energy into this film today, in the future, and in the past is just as an important part as every single person that made this film. Because it would not have seen the light of day had there not been someone that wanted more answers. And we took it upon ourselves to take that journey on. So thank you from the bottom of my heart as co-founder of CCPI, and one that came together with Seth and said, we have a vision. Let's bring this vision to life, and we can do that with this team of people. So thank you again. Hats off to you, literally hats off to you, and on to the next.
If I can just tag on to that really quick and just give a big thank you to both of you, Seth and Jesse, for spearheading the entire project of Haunted Iowa. And really, I mean, the whole team did, but Seth and you spent a lot of time reviewing footage and putting things together, and Seth producing and editing and everything that you did. Thank you for making this what it is today.
Truly our pleasure.
Hey, absolutely pleasure. Man,
Yes.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Seriously, and
And
what Jesse said is 100% true.
I think I should join in on this one
Yes.
too, because you know it sounds like everyone's stroking your cock, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of check. you know, Dirt, I have not heard barely nothing out of you. So, Dirt, you need to bump up that
I
dick
would really
rhetoric a little bit more than what it should be.
I'd really like to
Just
throw
say
a shout out.
FYI.
Like to throw a
Okay.
shout out to Cole Knipple,
Good.
aka Nickel Slot. I mean, he's
Nickel slot.
a heck of a guy.
No, it's Harry Blumkin.
Oh.
Seriously though, like thinking back years, like even in the past, you know, there was points in time that I never even thought this would ever happen. You know, there was points in our lives where we, you know, didn't even talk to each other, you know. But this tonight has been incredible because it just shows me that bond never actually died. You know, we had bumps in the roads and whatever, life is crazy like that. That's just life. But here we are, like we never left.
Yeah.
Like literally we could have stopped filming yesterday and I wouldn't know the difference, you know. I reflect exactly what Jesse said. Thank you guys for being a part of this and being a part of a dream and being a part of a crew that, you know, was just a pipe dream in college, you know, and just something that we just thought would be fun, and it became something real and serious. It still like sways the way we go these days. I mean, CCPI is still alive and well. You know, we're still doing things and we're still going, you know, and you can't say that a lot. If you go back 10 years and you look at other crews and you look at other teams, and it's like, do they even know each other anymore? Do they even talk? Do they do anything? And here we are still doing this, still loving to talk about it, still passionate, and we're like ready to just pick up a camera and go film right now. And so that is what sets us apart in a lot of ways and doesn't set us higher. We're not better than anybody. It just makes us who we are, and it lights a fire under our butt.
Yep.
So yes, thank you.
Nailed it.
Yep.
You got
And
it.
this here can be edited out, but I'm just going to throw this out there because I'm thinking about it. We are moving forward with Squatch Iowa 2 and are going to be looking into seeking out locations and stories and experiences and things like that. And this is my open invitation to Iowa people, former CCPI people. You are more than welcome and invited to take part in this journey with us. I would love to see other CCPI bodies on current CCPI projects. So if you're interested, we can talk about it.
Yes, please. I've never been on a Bigfoot hunt. Please.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
All right.
And Hauser, I will drag you out of your house. I will drive from New York and drag you out of your house to be a part of it.
I'm in.
Okay.
Keep me no win.
All right, if Seth is gonna drag you out of his cubby hole, count me in, because I'll come out.
Yes,
dude,
let's do it.
I got to get back somehow, because you imagine just like all of us just like walking into the woods, like
I know.
Oh my gosh, literally cameras would break and people would weep.
I'll be
like,
I call being with Cole in the woods.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna bring some moonshine. We're gonna have a good time.
We'll get some pigeons that we might capture, and
right. Okay.
we'll feast them and eat them and call it good.
Oh,
right on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
you two screens right here. You guys are going to be at Hauntacon today, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Literally in about 12 hours. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
sure. Just
Nice.
I mean, of course, you have the bankroll, so just send us the tickets, and we'll go. And
do you know where I live?
Represent you.
I live in my in-laws' basement. Do you know that?
Dude, you're rolling. You're high rolling. High ball. You're
I
highball
package
rolling.
toothpaste
Highball
for a
rolling.
living,
You're making that New York money.
Yeah, that you New York
and I'm
money.
paying those New York taxes too.
Yeah.
Truth.
Well, that's not my fault. You live in New York. That's what comes with New York. You get New York money, you get New York taxes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. We have
Love you
derailed
all.
multiple times.
Yeah.
One last thank you for everything. If you haven't subscribed to CCPI TV, now is the time to do it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up so that we know you enjoyed this. We have more 10-year anniversary Haunted Iowa content coming your way. Be patient because we have a lot of sifting to do. We hope you enjoyed this panel discussion about all things Haunted Iowa. And we hope you enjoy Haunted Iowa for many, many years to come. On behalf of Cole, myself, Gert, Johnny, Negan, and Seth, we salute you, we thank you, and we will see you guys in the next one.